Okay, and welcome to your shotcut video program. We are going to get started right now. This is what the normal window looks like when you start shotcut. Up here where our cursor is, you'll see project name. We're going to put a project name here. We're going to be doing the prime time music video here. So all you have to do is type in your name, such as this, and then go down and hit start, just like shown here. I guess it'll always start in HD 1080 unless you change that. We're going to hit start, and now our project is made per se. It doesn't do anything. There's these tabs over here on the left. You have playlist, filters, and export. And properties. You rarely mess with properties, but playlist, filters, and export you use all the time. So what we're going to do now is I get prepped before we even start. You want to actually create a file folder that has all of your stuff you intend in putting in your video in your file folder. Then it's just a case of going to that file folder and then put it all in the playlist. As you can see, we've hit the playlist tab and it's ready to accept some media per se. We're going to get into our video projects folder I created. You can call your stuff whatever you want. Then I have all the people who I use photos from. And here we go. Now this one's going to be Yu Photos. She kindly said we could use her photos, so singly just pull them over one at a time. It's not that hard to do, so just grab them like I'm doing here and stick them in your playlist. Once they're all in, you'll be real happy and you can proceed. And I'm just gonna chill out here for a minute while they get loaded. Alright, we're about done adding all the photos to the playlist, and I took the awesome sunset, and I didn't get it in there, unfortunately. But it's in the preview window, but I didn't put it in the playlist window, so it's not going to be there later. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to where my music is. I'm going to select the primetime song, MP3, of course. It'll do waves or whatever you want. I'm selecting primetime and I'm dragging it over to our media pool that they call a playlist. Now we're going to X out of that window, and there's all of our media right there. Pictures and music all together. Now what you want to do now is you want to make some video and audio tracks. So we right click and we click on video track. Now I always like to put a couple of those in, so I'm going to right click again, put in a second one. Now we're going to make our audio track. Right click again and add audio track up at the top. There you go. Click it. I said click it. Very good. Okay. So now we're ready to go. We got 2 video tracks to work with and 1 audio track. The video tracks having 2 of them because sometimes you like to move stuff around and you can move stuff up to that track, the other track, without screwing up your timeline that you've already got going. Alright, what we're going to do next is we're going to go and create a black screen for our beginning part. Now watch this. We're going to go to Open Other. Now we're going to choose Color. Now we're going to choose Color again. And then we're going to click on Black here. Go down and click OK. Like that. And then you can close this window out here once I get around by hitting OK. And that'll turn your preview into black. Now watch this. We're going to left mouse button down, and we're going to drag this over to our playlist. And that saves it just as though it were a picture, okay? So that's pretty easy how to get a black background going. Now, we're going to grab this. Make sure that when all the things you want to drag to your timeline are blue in color. See how I'm clicking on these and they're turning blue? Whatever you have blue is going to go down to your timeline. So we want to make sure that's blue. We're going to drag it down. Notice it goes over right. Everything does that. Then let go of it, and that's what you get. Now move it over a little bit to the playhead. That's called the playhead right there. Alright. Now, you can do many things at this point. You can drag it out and make it bigger if you want to by just putting the cursor over it and down left mouse button. Then there are filters. We're going to hit the filters tab now. We want to add a title to this. So now when you see the red back or the red box around there, notice it isn't right now, but it's around. We want to click on it till that turns that red background box around there. Then it will allow you to add a filter. Now everything's done in filters on this program, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Video tab up there, and we're going to go clear down to Text. Everything's in alphabetical order, so we're going to choose Text 3D Text, which is you'll see it here in a second, the big wonderful, I don't know if I'm drunk while I'm doing this or not, but okay, now it's going to appear in a second on there, 3D text. There you go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the left mouse button down and brush across there because we're going to type in our words instead of 3D text now. So we're going to type in prime time here. Just like that. Now, we got prime time in there. Now what you want to do is you want to add more lines, but it'll only do one line at a time. So the way to go around that is you add more instances of that 3D text filter till you get in as many lines as you want. Now watch, I'm going to position it by going down here to this vertical thing, and I'm going to raise it up near the top, like so. There. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add another instance of a 3D text. So I'm going to go back to the plus sign. I'm going to go back down to 3D title or text 3D again. Alright. Now we're going to click on it. And it's giving us a brand new instance of 3D text. So we can type in by Alan Parsons. Okay, now that's too wide apparently, right? So we're going to go down to size, and we're going to minimize it down a little bit till it fits. There we go. That looks good. Now we're going to drop down with our scrolling thing, and we're going to make it go upward a little bit more toward prime time. Alright. We'll be messing with this, fine-tuning it a little later, but now we need to add another instance of Text 3D. We're just going to keep on doing this until we get all the text in there that we want to. So, here's our new one. Brush across it. And we're going to type in a karaoke performance. Spell performance right would be nice, yes. Okay, that's plenty of script for that line. Now we got to take our size. We're going to really reduce it so it all fits in our window there. It's too small. Bring it back up a little bit. And back down just a little. There, that looks good. Now we're going to drop down with our scroller and put it in the correct vertical position. We're going to go the other way with it. There we go. Fine tune it however you like. It's kind of tricky how that it kind of jumps in increments there, so it's kind of tricky to get it exactly where you want it, but it can be done. Okay, now we're going to add a third instance, or a fourth instance of 3D text here. So we can put KADJ in here. So, KADJ. Now we got to bring that back down to the bottom. So we're going to go to the vertical tab and go down, down, other way, other way. There we go. Now, that's just everything needs to be moved. So we're going to take and move everything around a little bit after we get our size adjusted here. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to put that about where we want it. You don't want to drop them down too far. You want to have some kind of margins on both top and bottom, because by the time these get loaded onto YouTube, you'll see that it's chopped off sometimes on the top or the bottom, so you want to kind of give it a little bit of leeway anyway. That'd be about not enough. We need to go back up a little bit. It's real tricky to get it to move just incrementally. There, that's good. Let's go to the next line. We'll scroll down again and get to our vertical. Now we're going to go up slightly. There we go. Now let's go to our third instance. And we get this one exactly where we want it. There we go. Now we'll go to the third one. Scroll down, vertical, go up just a little bit. There we go. Back up. I think we're drunk here. Okay, just a little bit. There, that's good. Size, everything. We're going to pull it up a little. Okay, that looks good. Looks real good. Now we're deciding. Let's go to our fourth instance, which is by KADJ. We're going to pull that up just slightly. And everything here looks okay. So we're going to start going, we want to change colors on this, get away from the white. Let's try orange once and see how that looks. Oh my god, it looks like Halloween pumpkin time. Let's go find a better color. Okay, let's try this purple one. That looks good. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Now let's go down to all the others. So you got to click on each one individually, hit color, tab, hit your purple, and then OK. Now we're going to go again. We're going to hit color, purple, and OK. Now we're going to go to the fourth one. We're going to click color, purple, and OK. And now they're all matched. There we go. Of course, you can do them whatever colors you like. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to make our thumbnail. So, we've got this much made already. Everything looks good up here. Now we're going to make our thumbnail. How we do that is we must first hit File, and we're going to hit Save As. And I already pre-typed this for us. It says Thumbnail, Save MLT. So we're going to hit Save. And we're going to hit Yes, Replace. Here we go. Now, what we want to do now is we will actually want to shrink this down to 1 frame. How that's done is drag it as far as you can. Then take this thing right here, this little bar, and you want to stretch it clear out to the right. That will make it get to where it's stretched out as far as it can go. Now we're going to move it like so until we can't do it anymore. Now it's at 1 frame. Alright, that's what we want. Now what you want to do is you want to hit this Export tab. Export. See? And you want to drop down to where it says JPEG and click on it. Then hit Export File, and we're going to hit Export Thumbnail. Let's call it what it is, Prime Time. I got to do it 2, and then JPEG is fine. Make sure it ends with .jpeg, then hit the Save tab, and it'll save it. Up here on the right, follow the cursor up here to the right, and you'll see that it's at 0%. Now, it does these real quick. Once it starts, it's going to do it immediately because it's only got 1 frame to process. So, once it gets around to processing, there it is. It's done already. Okay? Very good. Now you've created your thumbnail. What you want to do now is you want to take this, you want to pull it back out again. What we really want to do is pull it way back out, then bring this back down to a realistic spot, and pull this back out about to the way we had it before, which was about like this, I believe. Okay, we'll continue with our project in just a second. Okay, now, what we're going to do next is we're going to add the other elements to our thing now that we have the title made. So one of the first things you want to do is go back to your playlist. As you can see, follow our playlist. Now we want to add our MP3 down here. So we're going to left click and grab it. Hold the left button down. We're going to drag it down to our audio section. As you can see, I scroll down to the audio. Now I'm going to left click it. I'm going to drag it down there just like we did that blank space a while ago. Go clear down to audio and get it over there somewhere close and let go of it. Like so. And then you can see all the peaks there. It's all peaked out and everything. What you want to do now is you want to scroll back up. Okay, what you want to do now is you want to grab your first picture. Remember, everything that's circled in or encased in blue is what you're going to be dragging. So let's start out at the very beginning with the first picture. That way we won't get screwed up. We're going to pull it down onto our timeline on video track 2. Get it as close as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to grab it now that it's red border, and we're going to bring it over the top of that one just a little bit. Now what that does is it creates a crossfade when you overlap them like this. See that crossfade? Good. Now we're going to go to the right, we're going to grab it, we're going to pull it out, make it last longer. Now we're going to go up here, we're going to grab the next picture. We're going to drag it down. We're going to move it close, we're going to drop it, let go, wait till it turns red, then overlap it. And now we're going to stretch it out, make it last longer. Now you just keep repeating this process over and over. Grab one, pull it down, let go, overlap, drag the right side of it out for a while. You can make them last however long you'd like. This one, I should have drugged them out a little bit longer than they are, but because I'll end up repeating a couple of the pictures. And near the end, I didn't drag the front ones out far enough. It's very hard to go back and redo them, so try and get them about right to begin with. Now we're going to get our cursor to move over near us here by clicking in that darker gray spot. And we'll grab the next photo. Should be that one. And so on and so on. You see what I'm doing, so I'm not going to bore you with all the details of this. We'll probably cut this short. I'll edit it out. Okay, now you see that we have started, we've gotten all the photos loaded now, and with our crossfades and everything else. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do our ending credits. Now, notice I've left a gold space at the back there. We're going to be using that here in a minute. And all of our photos are loaded, as you can see all along the timeline. This is our gold space. Now, what you want to do is go get that black square again we made earlier. We're going to drop it into the timeline. We're going to move it over to crossfade it like the rest. Now we're going to move the right side of it by left clicking and holding it down and stretch it clear to the end of our production. And our cursor is way over there, so we got to put it up here by clicking in the darker gray bar there. There now, at least it'll stay in position on us. Now, what you want to do is put it slightly over the top of that one. You want to come back and make sure that you click on the that section to make it go red bars around it like that, right? Red border rather. Because now we can go back to filter again, like we did before. Hit the plus sign. This time we're going to go for a different text style. We're going to try and make it scroll out of there. So we're going to go down to text HTML. Right there. Click on it. And you'll get this. Get this right here. Now it's got a sub-menu here of things that it'll do. We want to hit simple scroll like that. It's going to bring up this screen. Now, if you don't do anything with the text, it's going to come out black, and you're trying to put black text on a black background, you won't be able to see anything. So we have to change this to white text, and it's kind of confusing how to do it, but pay attention close. Here we go. First thing you want to do is go up to, go Format, Go to text color, click on the white one, click OK. Alright, now that you got it white there, click on the OK tab. Okay, now we're going to type out photography by UU. We're going to type out special thanks to Sound Choice Karaoke. Okay, now we're going to put, please subscribe to this channel. I don't like that. I want it to say capitals. If I want them all to be two, if I can type this channel. There we go. Now we're going to drop down and please leave a like. Okay, that's good enough. Now, if you hit File and Save, it'll save all that for you. If you don't hit Save, it'll just disappear when you close the window out. So now you can close this, come down and hit the play icon. Okay, now, this is all wrong, so we're going to hit the Edit tab. Photography. Now we're going to hit this tab thing and it will put it all in the center, pretty much. And hit File and Save again. Now get out of there, and now we should be able to see if it's going to work by clicking the play icon. Photography by using special thanks to Sound Choice Karaoke. And please subscribe to the channel, but it's special thanks is too far over to the left, so we got to fix that right there. We're going to hit Edit again. We're going to put our cursor right here and just hit spacebar a few times to knock it all over to the right a little. Hit save again, or it won't save that. Now it should be correct. Let's go ahead and hit that play tab once more and see how it works. Oh yeah, now we're looking good. That's what we want. Just like that. Okay, now notice how jittery the screen is when you're in edit mode on Shotcut. But once you render it, it's rock solid. It does just absolutely perfect. They just don't have their technology down on their editing screen that good. However, at least it doesn't do a bunch of stuff. Now, see this little circle here? See that little circle? That's pull it over to the left like this, and it will give you a nice smooth transition into this. Now watch. Okay, now it's going to be dark, faded out. It's going to fade in real nice when you move that circle over. You can do that with anything you got. Okay, any one of those. If you turn them red, you can access that circle. And I'm going to pull this one back just a little bit, and then we're going to try it again. See how it works. And that'll be just swell. And then it crossfades into our first picture, etc., etc., etc. As far as the music tracks, you don't have to do anything with those. If you have to do volume up or down, you have to select it with the red borders like we did the other things. Then you have to go up into filters and choose audio filters. And then there's volume up and down and stuff like that on there. So, okay, that pretty much shows you how you can make a basic music video with photos. This one's ready to render now, pretty much. So we'll get on to that stage here in a few minutes. Hit export, export file, tab right there. Once you do that, it's going to, you can select what folder you want to put it in. I've got it, I always keep all mine in the same folder. That way I never lose them. And then once you click save like this, it's going to throw up here on the right side, right up there, you see, where it says videos and tells you what folder it's putting it in and how many percent it is done. It takes it generally a couple of minutes to even start registering as finished on there, so you have to have faith.